addition and subtraction of radicals. In adding or subtracting radicals, you can only add or subtract similar radicals. To add or subtract similar radicals, add or subtract only the coefficients of the radical number and copy the common radicals. Look at number 1. We have here square root of 3 minus 3 square root of 3 plus 5 square root of 3. As you can see, the radicals here are similar radicals since they have square root of 3. Similar radicals are radicals with the same radicand and same index. So therefore, number 1 are similar radicals, so we can add them. So therefore, to add these similar radicals, we just need to add or subtract its coefficients. So the coefficient here is 1 minus 3 plus 5. And then we copy the common radical, which is square root of 3. Now let's combine the coefficients. 1 minus 3 plus 5 will give us 3 square root of 3. So this is the answer for number 1. Next, number 2. Allow me to write here number 2. I have here square root of 75 minus 3 square root of 27 plus 5 square root of 3. At first glance, we won't be able to see a similar radical here since the radicand here is 75, here the radicand is 27, and the radicand here is 3. Looking at these 3 radicals, 3 is the smallest radicand. So maybe we can use this idea to get the factor of the other 2 radicals and see if they have a perfect square factor. So let's start with 75. Square root of 75 has a factor of 3, of course. So let's separate 3 times. That will give us 25. 3 times 25 is 75. Minus 3. Next, let us factor 27. Factor out 3. It will give us 3 times 9. Next, plus 5 square root of 3. Next, we need to simplify these 2 radicals. Since there is a perfect square number here, which is 25, square root of 25 will give us 5, so I can put that outside this radical sign. 5 square root of 3 minus, we have here a 3, and then inside the radical, we have here 9, square root of 9 is 3. So putting that outside the radical sign, we're going to multiply that by 3. So putting this outside, this is 3 square root of, and then this 3 remains inside the radical sign. Plus 5 square root of 3. There you go. We have now similar radicals. But before adding or subtracting the terms, we must first simplify this one. Negative 3 times 3 will give us 9. So I'm going to write this as 5 square root of 3 minus 9 square root of 3 plus 5 square root of 3. Now, combining the coefficients of those terms that has similar radicals. So we have here 5 minus 9 plus 5. Don't forget the open and close parenthesis. And then inside the radical sign is 5 minus 9 plus 5 will give us 1. So that is 1 square root of 3. Or we can just write square root of 3. Next, number 3. Last number, we have here 4x plus 3 square root of 9x minus 5 square root of 3 plus 2 square root of 9. And again, we need to simplify each radicals to see if there are similar radicals. So here in our first term, we can have here square root of 4x. So simplifying this one will give us 2 square root of x. Obviously, 2 came from the square root of 4 here. Square root of 4 will give you 2. So 2 will be put outside the radical sign. Plus 3. And then we have your square root of 9. So square root of 9, that is 3. So times 3. Put 3 outside the radical sign and then retain x inside the radical sign. Minus 5 square root of 3 plus 2 times the square root of 9 is 3. Next, simplify first. We're going to have here 2 square root of x plus 9 square root of x minus 5 square root of 3. Then we have here 2 times 3, that is 6. Next, look for a similar radical. Similar radical here is this one, square root of x. So we can just add 2 and 9 here. Since negative 5 square root of 3, we have here a different radicand. So we cannot combine this with this first two radicals. So just combine these first two terms. This will give us 11 square root of x minus 5 square root of 3 plus 6. And you can now stop your answer here since there is no similar radical left for this expression.